We're so pleased, indeed honored, to be speaking with President Trump's Middle East envoy, a mediator, a diplomat all through the Trump administration, but we haven't been hearing much from you until recently. A big event is next week. It is the economic workshop in Bahrain. What are we actually going to see there? Governments, business people? Can you give us a preview?
Absolutely. You're going to see a very well thought out economic vision for the Palestinian people. We have specifically tried to keep it away from politics. We've not invited world leaders. We've not invited foreign ministers. We've invited some economic ministers, and we've invited a lot of business people throughout the world. We want them to digest this economic vision that the administration has worked so hard on for the Palestinians, for Jordanians, for Egyptians. We want their feedback, which is specifically why we chose to name it a workshop rather than a conference or a summit. And we hope that the Palestinian people will understand what awaits them if we achieve peace. And it's really important for me to say that. This is not just about an economic peace. It's not about buying Palestinians off. It's a two-part vision, economic, political. This is part one of the plan. There are two parts to the plan. One doesn't work without the other.
Is some part of the plan, including investments, already preset, pre-agreed? Do you have donors or investors lined up?
No, we're not at the point of asking for donors yet. We first want to unveil the ideas, get the feedback on the ideas. The pledging would come down the road if and when we get to the political agreement. If we understand that the two sides are actually willing to engage and talk and work towards a political deal, then we'll start to deal with the pledging concept.
And the lack of an invitation to the Israeli government, as you said, it's not political. Will there be any Israelis there?
The Israeli business people will be represented there since it's not a political meeting. If the Palestinian Authority had not boycotted it, and if the Palestinian Authority would actually attend, and I think them not attending is a huge missed opportunity for them and for their people. But if they were there, certainly would make sense to have the Israeli government there. Without the Palestinian Authority there, having the Israeli government there just doesn't, makes it more political. Our mission is really about unveiling the economic plan, showing it to the countries who would donate money down the road if they were interested, showing it to the Palestinian people. There'll be a time when we can benefit from the Israeli government's experience and knowledge. It doesn't have to be next week.
And so there's an economic plan that you and your team have written, and there's a political plan that you say is written and probably won't come out for a few more months. It's the Israeli election that gets in the way, I understand.
Yes, the economic vision was written by Jared Kushner and a very talented team at the White House, the State Department, National Security Council, Treasury Department, really an interagency process. I'm probably missing a few. We've also sought insight from the public sector. We've sought insight from international organizations. But it is one component of the political plan that our team has also written, which we will reveal when we think the time is right. I think I said yesterday on CNN.com that it's no secret that the new Israeli election has given us some new thought as far as whether we release it sooner or later. We might have to wait till after the new Israeli government is formed. We'll make that decision after Bahrain.
So that could be November, but that's not definite.
We've not made a final decision. After Bahrain, we'll make that decision.
And again, those would be American ideas, a political vision, if you will, and a lot of people think, therefore, it's future borders or where Israelis and Palestinians could live. It's not going to be take it or leave it from the U.S., will it?
There's no such thing as a take it or leave it deal, meaning these are our ideas. The only way a deal gets done is if both sides decide to engage and get to the finish line. Anybody who thinks that a country, whether it's the United States, a group of countries, the United Nations, if they think that any of that could force a deal on either side, I think is mistaken. We are presenting ideas, concepts. We will provide encouragement to the two sides to think about the plan, but only if the two sides are willing to engage on it can we be successful.
Recently, you made a comment that the Palestinian-Israeli dispute, though you've been working on it so intensely along with other Americans, is not the center of the problems of the Middle East. So what is?
Well, Iran is the center of the problems in the Middle East today. They're a threat to not only Israel, but to all of the United States allies in the region, Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, everybody there, including, by the way, the Palestinians. The notion that if we solve this conflict, we will solve all the conflicts of the Middle East, maybe that was true decades ago. I have no idea. It is absolutely untrue today. Anybody who says that this is the core conflict of the Middle East, I think is very mistaken.
Yet it's worth doing because this is the land of the Bible, a place that people are aware of. Why is it worth trying?
It's worth trying because millions of people's lives can be improved if we manage success. But we understand that this is a tough, complex problem. People politicize it. People say things that aren't true. people deceive people about the different aspects of the conflict, it's still worth trying. I mean, Israelis and Palestinians deserve better than what they have now.
And lastly, if I may, you're well aware of, well, skeptics who think there's zero chance of success, even in next week's economic meeting. Let me just be kinder to the workshop word. And I know that you're aware that there are skeptics who claim there's zero chance of success, even in the Bahrain economic workshop. Do you agree it might be a total flop?
No, I think the Bahrain workshop is an essential step to move forward. I think it's only giving of information and then hopefully receiving information. So I don't think the Bahrain workshop can be a failure. I think people will try to paint it a failure. Those who are against it, those who are trying to boycott it, those who are trying to convince others not to come, will paint it that way, sure. We understand the politics of it. But no, I don't think it'll be...
So you're pretty sure you're driving ahead to the political phase later this year, is most likely. That could fail if Israelis and Palestinians aren't interested. It is up to them. You've said that.
It is up to the two sides, but you also need the right time, you need the right circumstances, and we hope that they will take the vision for what it's intended to be, a realistic compromise that can improve the lives of Israelis and Palestinians and many others in the region.
Thank you so much, Jason Greenblatt.